Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Welcome to BATV's coverage of the launch of F. Staple and Associates Limited, the local agents of the University of Leicester. I am Tanika Bennett and I'll be your host. Stay tuned for all the highlights.
It's the official launch of F. Staple and Associates Limited, who is, by the way, the official agent for the University of Leicester for not only Jamaica, but the Caribbean. You're in for a great evening, that much I can tell you. We would like to thank all the persons instrumental in making this event a success. This is an important moment in history. It is one that we will never see again, the launch of Miss Staple. Wouldn't you agree? One that we will never see again. And so we are here tonight to celebrate with you, Francine, as well as partake in fine wine and cheese. How can I forget? But I just want to say to our beloved friend, because we're all here celebrating with her as she embarks on this wonderful journey. Who you're seeing here is who is here to support you. And we thank God even for the strength and the mind to be here, our creator. EduCenters Francine is therefore proud to partner with you on this journey. Francine, F. Staples and Associates, I declare, they said speak it into being, will be a success. We are looking forward to greatness and a good partnership. They say teamwork make the dream work, but it's not just a phase, because teamwork does make, have you ever tried pushing anything by yourself and get a little help? No, the power that help does. Teamwork does make the dream work. And so together, I am confident that EduCenters and F. Staples will do great things. Francine, mutual respect and a shared interest is why EduCenters have chosen to partner with you. So on behalf of EduCenters, everybody, thank you for being here.
You know, someone might wonder, what is my association with Miss Staple? And I see also a fellow educator here. We have fond memories of Miss Staple growing up from a little girl into this phenomenal woman whom we celebrate with this afternoon. And I will not bore you with it, but just to say, I saw in Miss Staple that she's destined to be a great woman. I said it to her after she passed her common entrance in my class to go to Excelsior. And one day she came back and I said, Francine, you are destined to be a great woman. And she said, yes, sir. I said, yes, you are. I call it the extra sensory perception, the ESP, told me that. And I must tell you, this woman has never let us down. She goes leaps and bounds. And the thing I like about her, she maintains her humility. She's the same Francine. You know, many persons who, while Francine in her early days was struggling and would have given up, as some of us would say, we can't bother. Things are not good, not going our way, not go on for me. Francine was one of those who said, I can achieve, I must achieve, I will achieve. And she worked very, very hard. And we are very proud of you.
EduCenters Information Services has been around for almost 20 years. And we are not just a training and development company, but we believe passionately about transferring knowledge. So the partnership with Francine through F. Staple and Associate, her wanting to share her wealth of knowledge as a professional in the security field, as well as sharing quality service through the services her company provides, which are the different degrees and master's program. EduCenters found pleasure in
partnering with her. We believe that together we can achieve more. We believe that together we can bring to corporate Jamaica as well as individual a more quality level of services through training and professional development. Anyone that places special attention on growth and development can develop themselves extraordinarily. I would advise anyone who thinks that there's a job or there is something out there that they can't do, just put your mind to it, put pen to paper and leap, because the summit of success, it is there for everyone to climb.
I met Francine Staple in 1999 when we were both at the port security. She came in as as the internal affairs manager while I was a young security officer. We both spent some time in the Corps, and then we both went to work on the port of Kingston. When we started to work on the port of Kingston, that's when I really started to see Francine evolving. She started to do the PSP program with the American Society for Industrial Security and encouraged me to do it as well. And then she went on to do her master's with the University of Leicester, and she's always been encouraging me to do that as well. But I've started to sign up with her this evening as well. But Francine has been one of those powerful, larger-than-life characters. She has really gone through a lot and overcome a lot. And to see where she is tonight, I'm extremely proud of her, and I've drawn some new energy and some good vibe from her going forward, and I can use some of that for my own personal development, of course. I think the business that she has chosen to venture in is excellent. It's right up Francine's alley. She has the years of experience, and one of the things she has been able to do over the years is she has created very good networks. So she has stakeholders all over the place, and Francine has been able to garner a loyal fan base. She has all of these people, all of these places strategically placed. So I think she'll do extremely well. She will do extremely, extremely well.
And on that note, we take our first break, but don't go anywhere. Much more to come after this.
Doggin Global Business Process Outsourcing. Doggin Global can help you with your day-to-day administrative and secretarial needs. We provide solutions for streamlining your accounting and bookkeeping procedures, so you can get on with running your business while knowing that all the accounting and statutory needs are being taken care of. Our BPO services include the following: bookkeeping, preparation of budgets, management accounts, and periodic financial analyses, provision of temporary or part-time accounting assistance, design and implementation of accounting systems, preparation of accounting manuals, payroll services, corporate secretarial services, assisting clients with their business entry strategy into the country, setting up new legal entities, maintaining minutes and other legal documents, non-executive directorships, preparing and submitting annual returns. For additional information, contact us at email info@doggin.global, website www.doggin.global.
Thanks for staying with us, and if you're just joining, we're here at the launch of F. Staple and Associates Limited. Now for more highlights.
I've had the honor of sharing Francine's journey for many years, first as her mentor, then as a friend and fellow professional, and now as a businesswoman in her own right. Let us give her a round of applause. I have watched Francine grow and progress with admiration as she has gone from strength to strength and risen to the pinnacle of her career, renewing and reinventing herself along the way and breaking all kinds of glass ceilings. As many of you know, the term glass ceiling is a metaphor used to represent an invisible barrier typically put in place to keep out minorities, especially within an established hierarchy. The term was originally coined by feminists and came to be associated with women in their struggles to break barriers in male-dominated occupations and professions, as well as in corporate and organizational structures. Glass ceilings, however, do not only impact on the lines of gender, they also impact on the lines of race, class, and socioeconomic status, and impede the progress of men and women of all walks of life in their bid to progress and be fairly assessed and promoted on the basis of their merit. So I'm not hung up on just the gender aspect of it, where we are looking at it as something which is, against women. Men and women are involved in this whole issue. And this glass ceiling is kept intact by powerful interests who maintain the status quo and who must be hard-pressed to relinquish their control. Indeed, if we look at our own Jamaican experience, we will see that it was not so long ago when women were denied access to management and a range of other occupations, when people of color, be they black, Indian, or mixed race, could not work in certain institutions such as banks, and where even simple jobs could only be accessed by people from higher socioeconomic backgrounds, all through the old boy network and proverbial old school tie. At a conference some years ago, an erudite professor, quoting from one of his studies, said that men relinquished their power and allowed women into the bastions of power. In one of my more passionate moments, I stood up and challenged his assumption, asserting, "You never gave it to us, we took it." The room went silent, and I could feel the discomfort of some people who thought they might have a radical feminist in their midst. In my mind, however, I was just a proud Jamaican woman who never allowed barriers to impede me and would not entertain the idea of anyone in control of my destiny. Francine and I share this in common. And when she recently walked out of a high-profile, high-paying corporate position, she said to me, "I won't be pushed around and treated like an inferior in my profession and in my own country. I'm a proud Jamaican woman and I will stand up for my rights and my dignity." She was true to her words and astounded some of her business associates when she moved on and started anew. It came as no surprise to me, however. Today, although women can celebrate the fact that we have made strides in breaking some glass ceilings, there are still many barriers to break. And this is, again, I said, is not just women trying to break these barriers, it's men as well. I'm particularly concerned that with the influx of foreign investors, particularly in our hotel industry, Jamaicans must be careful not to be relegated to line and lower level positions, but must lobby and put ourselves forward to be considered for management and leadership positions. And we must never accept that some jobs are reserved only for foreigners. Certainly not when we possess the same or higher qualifications, proven experience and skills. So what can we learn from this journey of Francine in addressing the question, how do women and men break the glass ceiling? I have drawn from her experiences and that of other remarkable men and women who have shared their secrets of success, 10 essential factors, which include personal attributes and actions. Permit me just to share them with you quickly. Succinctly, they are: first, believe in yourself. Have a strong vision of who you are, what you want to do, and where you want to go. In other words, have a compelling vision and mission for your life. Secondly, seek out mentors and role models with the knowledge, skills, emotional intelligence, influence, and willingness to support, guide, and help you to grow and achieve your goals. Francine speaks a lot about her mentors, and she sought them out, and I'm so happy, Francine, that I was one of them. She's now mentoring me. Prepare yourself to go boldly where no one has gone before. Yes, it's Star Trekky. Study the terrain, the opportunities, threats, and trends. Then turn on the mindset of the pioneer. Call up the courage to go into uncharted waters. Map your path. Motivate yourself with positive visions and successful self-talk. Because there will be a lot of negative talk, even sometimes from people around you. And you have to do your self-talk. Francine has always done that in her life. That's why she's a hard bud for dead. Nothing will keep her down. Her self-talk tells her, I will and I can. Draw on the strengths of people, individuals, as well as networks of people who will support you. help you and cheer you on in achieving your goals. You have to stay away from the doomsday people who will tell you every reason why you can't. Fourthly, qualify yourself. Seek out experiences that will help you to grow and attain the necessary credentials, certification, diplomas and degrees, and technical expertise. But having this is not enough. We have to know how to apply knowledge. And I tell people who have all the education but don't know how to apply it that they're dying by degrees. And I don't want anyone to do that. Being able to apply what we know is very important. Make sure you know your own worth and what you bring to the table. Take constant stock of your achievements and conduct your own SWOT analysis so you will be aware of your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats, and all the things that you have to know about yourself to make important changes and decisions. It was a great pleasure to be here this evening, particularly seeing Francine taking this step into entrepreneurship and starting her own business. I always felt that she would, because I know that she's very independent and that she has her own ideas, and she has been through the corporate world. She has taken some positives from it, and she has also rejected the things that she feels are things that create a glass ceiling over her and don't allow her to achieve the things that she wants to. And no doubt, with her business, she's going to also impact not only the students that will come through her programs from the University of Leicester, but the corporate world and all Jamaica, because that's Francine. Having myself been in business for the past 33 years, I know that it has its challenges. And of course, we have to look at the impact of a transitional economy, an economy which in Jamaica has gone through a lot of ups and downs. We saw the boom in the 80s. We saw the crash of the financial sector in the 90s. And those of us who have stayed the course have to have a resilience and a belief in ourselves and in our country. I believe that Jamaica is a country that is poised for greatness. We have wonderful people, there's tremendous energy. But I think we have to create more opportunities for business people. I don't think that we have a particularly friendly climate, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises. We need to get everyone on board. Government has been trying, but we need a banking system. I think we need to revive the credit unions, who played such an integral role in the development of Jamaica's finances and indeed the Caribbean. And I think we need to come together as entrepreneurs and support each other. We really need to do that. You know, when I look back on the 90s, the big companies were bailed out by, out of their problems. Little companies like mine, we did our own bailout, and we were very cautious in not borrowing and in making do and so on. But there needs to be a certain degree of boldness if you really want to grow. I think that after the 1990s, many businesses became overly cautious, particularly businesses run by women. We don't tend to take such big risks. But we also, I think, were a bit frightened by what happened with the high interest rates. And we need a system that is going to be a catalyst for the kind of growth that we can get through talented people like Francine. And I see so many young people coming up, and they just need that hand up, not a handout. And I think we need to create a system within the financial sector that's going to meet that. That's what's going to create the real wealth in Jamaica.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television. Thank you for being here this evening, sharing in my launch of my business. Of course, it was told to you that it's a limited liability company. I am the sole director. And my friend of 30 years, Mr. Christopher Honeywell, he is my company secretary. The history behind my company. I had a 10-year plan when I entered Kingston Container Terminals. I entered there in 2006. And I made a 10-year plan, and my 10-year plan was true to form. I stepped out of KCT in 2017 when someone thought that, you know, they wanted to push me around, but did not know that I was a, bud? A hard bud for dead, right? So, I thought when I was called into that meeting and told of my transfer, my lateral transfer to another position, I said to myself, you know, I said to my expatriate CEO that I will give him 20 minutes to look over his proposal and get back to him. I took less than 20 minutes to reach my home in New Kingston and had a glass of red wine with my friend from London. I thought that I would not take any disrespect from no one in my own country, as I knew that I was not allergic to mackerel or sardines. I realized there was a game being played by so-called powerful men, and I decided I did not wish to be around that game of dominoes. I went and applied my trade in education as I planned. Little did I know that it was another game of dominoes. I then decided it was time for me to play my own game. That game turns out to be solitaire. The mission of my business is to offer quality service through education, training, and development. And I stand here proudly as the Caribbean representative for the University of Leicester, of which I'm an alum, because I did my master's in security and risk management with them. And it was a part of my 10-year plan to one day represent them here in Jamaica. I sought to single-handedly approach the University of Leicester based on the quality of the product that they offered whilst I was doing my degree through distance learning. The other core function of my business is really training and development. Training and development is very important. Do not always rely on your employers to send you to training. You must invest in yourself and do your own training. And it is also important to make EduCenters one of your areas that you come to do your training and development, because it is a course that you're charting out for yourself, because the world is a global space and no one individual can fill that space. It is important to individuals and company owners that they have trained, well-trained and developed professionals within their midst. Training and development may not seem relevant today, but it will be relevant tomorrow. Don't delay what you need to do today by leaving it for tomorrow, or it never gets done. Never be a put-off Paul or Pauline. Tonight, I'm very heartened to see the amount of friends, some I'm seeing for the first time from Facebook land, and well-wishers here, as indeed my journey from then to now was a difficult one. Wealth magazine encapsulated that very well. And up until today, I have so many friends that I have made because of that program. I have not seen them. They're from all over the world as far as Ghana. People who appear strong can equally be broken. The strength overpowers the latter, all the time through God's grace and mercy. I will tell you, when you come upon those negative persons, you don't usher them out, but you pray them out. Know when the Lord is preparing you for greatness. All the termites will be coming out of the woodwork. Some you will spray and they die. Some won't, so remember this. In order to be great, you must display strength. My dream is for every single individual to chart their paths. Dream, realize those dreams, and move forward to implement those dreams. That dream or those dreams will prepare you for greatness. I want to thank you all very much for coming here this evening, sharing in my next 10-year journey. I usually have 10-year plans, and I won't retire when I'm 60 or 65. I will retire in another 10 years. So I thank you very much again for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with me, and I appreciate and love you all. Thank you. I will be representing University of Leicester here, so persons can pursue higher degrees in their area of expertise, and also to ensure that persons are properly trained and developed to meet the changing world. As Caribbean people, I consider us one body of people that is looking towards one goal. We're in the CARICOM space, and I'm sure that as Caribbean people, we have similar or differing cultures, but we will remain one Caribbean. And of course, going into the Caribbean to spread the educational knowledge that University of Leicester has to offer, it is important that I not only represent Jamaica, but I'm also proud to represent our Caribbean people. I'm basically the liaison for University of Leicester here. We will also be hosting different sessions in research, writing research paper, writing your dissertations. We will also assist persons with classes in terms of proofreading your documents. How do you proofread? We'll offer services as assisting persons to guide their thesis, and what are the things that they need to expect is to have full support and quality service from my company. I have gone through University of Leicester doing their Masters of Science degree in Security and Risk Management, and I can tell you, class, quality not only education but quality service. I thought that my money spent there was money well spent. Their support base in terms of managing your educational opportunities, managing your papers, they were always there. Your email sent, you're responded to immediately. Their Blackboard, their remote access portals, I mean, they are really amazing. It's an amazing university, and I really wanted to represent them, and it was in my 10-year plan to represent the University of Leicester, and I'm very, very happy that I'm their representative here.
And that brings us to the end of BATV's coverage of F. Staple and Associates Limited. Until next time, I've been your host, Tanika Bennett, inviting you to stay tuned to Business Access TV, serious about business.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got.
Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Take the guesswork out of improving your IT infrastructure. The field of IT changes so quickly that it can be hard to plan a strategy while keeping up with technological advancements. Yet, without a strategic roadmap built on data-driven insights, your staff can be overworked, spending excessive time putting out technical fires, instead of focusing on strategic tasks that fulfill core business needs. Our IT consulting services are the first step towards transforming your enterprise IT and improving your business efficiency. Our experts have the industry experience and best-in-class tools to methodically assess your entire support operation. We look at your IT support services holistically, identifying improvement areas that will have the greatest impact on employee productivity, service levels, and customer satisfaction. Need help improving your infrastructure uptime? Contact us to discuss a solution that will provide you greater productivity and efficiency. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
My name is Herbert Chung, Executive Chairman, Co-Founder, Honeybun 1982 Limited. You're watching Business Access TV. Serious about it.
If you have to move about because of urgent business, if you have to move about to secure the necessaries of life, if you have to move about to get some exercise for your own health and sanity, that you do so observing strictly the hygiene practices that are recommended.
The hygiene practices Prime Minister Andrew Holness is referring to include frequent hand washing with soap and water, and the use of hand rub with 62% or more alcohol base, covering mouth and nose with tissue or the bend of your elbow when coughing or sneezing, and avoid touching your mouth, eyes, or nose. We should all endeavor to protect ourselves and our families from COVID-19. This is Jamaica Magazine, and I'm Adrian Atkinson. The government has been working overtime to stem the spread of COVID-19 on the island. Containment measures include the imposition of a curfew from April 1 to 8 between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. the following day. Watch as the state shares more information on this and other measures.
Last week, we gave a direction to the Ministry of Health and the police force to work together with PICA and Custom to establish a list of persons who came into the island on or after the 18th of March, and that list is a comprehensive list, as comprehensive as we could get: name, passport number, and address. That list is then matched against those persons who have contacted the Ministry of Health, either through the telephone numbers which have been given, the email address which has been given, or the Jam COVID website. And we are now examining the records at the local health authorities in the various regions, because persons may have called in to those regions as well. And once we collate that, which we are now in the process of doing, we will take those persons off the list that we have of persons coming into the island. So now we will have a net list. Persons who have not reported are, at this point, and from the time they have not reported, in violation of the order that requires them to report, and violation of the law, that is the Disaster Risk Management Act, can result in a fine of up to $1 million and imprisonment or imprisonment. Most of the cases that we are seeing now are cases that have come into the island during the period that I have mentioned, that is between the 18th of March and the 24th. And the other cases are related to them. So the potential for spread and exponential spread is now directly related to that population that came into the island. Now, it is not all bad news. We have record of 460 persons who have called in to the Ministry of Health. That number may grow as we search through the other databases. And I want to thank those people who exercise their good conscience, their good judgment, a high sense of patriotism, a high concern for individuals themselves and others, done their civic duty. They have isolated, stayed at home by themselves. They have sent home their home staff or other family members, sent them away. And they have reported their situation to the Ministry of Health. That is what we want to see our Jamaicans do. It pains my heart to having to read this, that we are going to have to go door to door to find, to literally pull resources from other areas which they are needed to do this, when all it requires is a simple phone call to 888-1LOVE, or to go online to jamcovid19.moh.gov.jm and fill in the simple form. If everyone acts responsibly, we can keep our curve low. The government of Jamaica will extend the period of closure of our borders to incoming passenger traffic. We continue to refine protocols for the eventual controlled entry of Jamaicans. Additionally, the government of Jamaica, on the advice of the Ministry of Health, will extend the quarantine of the Corn Peace community for a further 14 days as it relates to the stay-in-place orders that have been given. People refer to them as the curfew orders that have been given. Let me say that I'm generally satisfied with how Jamaicans have responded. And I think all Jamaicans should have a sense of pride in how we have responded. Just that one act of staying home at night, when maybe we should all be staying home anyway, but that one act would have slowed transmission. And for those who would want to violate, for those who would want to show hubris that they can flout the law, the state of Jamaica is going to show with deliberateness that we can enforce our laws.
That we have completed the first phase of a sanitization and cleaning program of all our infirmaries and golden age homes across the country. We employed 100 additional temporary workers to maintain the cleaning program in the facilities, and this will be accommodated over the next 8 weeks. Additionally, we have installed all the mechanisms and washing and sanitizing facilities. We have put in the necessary infrastructure to ensure that the 1,700 residents in our infirmaries and golden age homes are kept in excellent condition. We have started the program to ensure that all persons, as we had said before, visiting the facilities go through the necessary checks and balances to ensure that they are in good health, and we still maintain the restrictions on visits and admissions to our infirmaries and homes over the period. On Sunday, we commenced the all-island feeding program of the homeless communities through the length and breadth of Jamaica. And Prime Minister and colleagues, I want to advise you that so far we have provided breakfast and lunch for 10,000 such persons across the country, with the majority of those cases being in the corporate area. We are over 4,500 such persons in the corporate area have benefited from this. The ministry have also rolled out the program to take care of the outdoor poor, and I must say that within the first week of this program, we have reached some 22,000 Jamaicans who are registered as outdoor poor, including the 1,700 in our infirmaries. Colleagues, Jamaica, we have started the program to find shelter. And this is something that is of real concern, because since the imposition of a nightly curfew, we have discovered that there are many Jamaicans that was not counted in the numbers of persons that are homeless have now turned up on the streets. We have provided 100 bed solutions at a location on Church Street, which we activated last night. And this facility, as I said before, will facilitate 100 such persons, and also the Mary Atkins facility, which is running out of space. And Prime Minister, there is a need for us to pay some serious attention to this population. We have had roaming teams on the road, driving across the corporate area and to all the parishes where we find these persons. We take them to the facilities, provide them with a bath, food, change of clothes, medical checkup. So we are, in fact, doing all that we can. Just quickly, Prime Minister and colleagues, the new market regulations have been working. We are watching to see what is taking place in terms of the efforts to try to get this social distancing within the markets. We know it's going to be difficult, but we are working on it. We are working closely with the Ministry of Health and the Social Development Commission to set out the protocol around how our markets are operating. The markets have installed hand sanitizers, washing basins across all the markets, and by now, all markets across the country would have gone through a total sanitization program. So we are watching to see what is taking place within our markets. I want to also announce that the Ministry of Local Government have provided some $50 million to the local authorities for the trucking of water to all municipalities across the country, and this program is ongoing.
Persons who came into the island that we have no knowledge of their health status because they have not reported, and they are ill, and they are infectious, and even if they recover, they could still be shedding. And even before they show symptoms, they could be infecting. If those persons are moving around in the country and infecting other people, and then all of a sudden cases turn up, that you cannot connect these cases to other cases that you know about, and you start to see this in increasing numbers, then you would say that the virus is at large in the community. And that is when now we would say we have definitely community spread. That means anywhere you go, you could get the virus. That means we couldn't say that we are quarantining any area really, because it doesn't make sense, because it's all over. Then you would have to go now with a different strategy. To curb that now, that is when you would have to do what other countries have been forced to do, such as a total lockdown. So I hope people understand why it is that the government is being so strict on these other measures. Social distancing, proper hygiene, stay at home, work from home, vulnerable stay home, so that we don't get to this community spread, where really the only tool to control the community spread would be to implement a lockdown. And we have tried our best. I think we have really exercised all our energies in this regard. But it really depends on what you do personally.
We know you want to be the best parent to your child, so we've decided to share some useful tips to make this a reality.
Wouldn't it be great if children came into the world so well-adjusted or with manuals, therefore eliminating the need for parental discipline? This is not the case, however. Parents usually apply their methods or they depend on strategies taught throughout generations to guide their children.
8 in 10 Jamaican children in the 2 to 14 years age group experience violence as a form of discipline.
Coercive parenting involves the physical administration of pain as punishment. It also includes the use of harsh language that has the potential to hurt children's feelings and affect their general self-esteem and development. It also fosters aggression, because what you're really teaching children is that when there is an issue, we must resolve the issue through harshness, through aggression, through coarse language. There's a direct correlation between coercive parenting and the aggression that we see actually in society.
Damaging disciplinary practices have moved outside of the home and into the national consciousness.
The time has come for the Parliament to have a debate on this issue and finally declare corporal punishment at an end, both within public institutions and as a means of discipline available to parents. I think it would be a forward-leaning step in making a stance against violence generally, and it would send a powerful message about the state respecting the inviolability of the person, whether or not that person is a child or an adult.
Children need guidance, and many wonder if not with the rod, then how? Enter the National Parenting Support Commission, NPSC, an agency of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. The ministry established the commission in 2012 to provide parents with the requisite skills and tools to raise children.
We work at 3 tiers. We work at home, school, and community. Our first and most important priority, however, is to ensure that we're fostering the home-school relationship. We must ensure that parents as key stakeholders feel involved in the entire process of educating their children.
Now, to do this, the Commission assists parents in several ways, including providing psychosocial support, assisting parents with understanding the teaching-learning process, and conducting parenting education programs.
Through our effective parenting courses, we push proactive strategies. In other words, you are going to put structures in place before behaviors that you don't desire actually show.
Parents and guardians should consider the child's developmental stage when determining the best method of guidance.
A child who is very young, we encourage play. The child must be playing, and even the teaching learning processes must include play, because this is how they develop their imagination, their creative skills. This is how they also learn to resolve issues and to problem solve.
Young children, especially infants, are at the stage where they don't know right from wrong, and they can be impulsive. They may touch items that are valuable or dangerous. Usually, it is best to remove the child or the object from such a situation.
We don't believe you're to spank any at all, because that's a part of coercive parenting, and we don't believe that coercive parenting works. So what we encourage you to do, though, is to be firm and to be consistent. So if it means you have to say, do this instead, or do not go there a million times, then that's what you have to be prepared to do.
The teenage years can challenge both children and parents. With the physical and chemical changes happening in the body, teens may act out as they may be unsure of their place in the world.
This can be a very difficult time to navigate. So we ask that you start relaxing some of the very stringent rules, and you also have conversations and you compromise.
And to address challenges, caregivers can remove privileges.
If the child becomes stubborn, has a fixed mindset, if you will, that this is what he or she is going to continue to do, then you might need professional help. You might need to call the commission, or you might need to call a social worker or a guidance counselor to help.
Being a proactive parent means setting clear boundaries, letting children know what is acceptable behaviors and why rules are in place. And don't forget to model behaviors you want young ones to display. There may not be a one-size-fits-all for raising children. By assessing the right information and using effective parenting techniques, we can nurture adults willing to play their part in making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. To tap into information from the National Parenting Support Commission, call 876-967-7977 or visit their offices at 37 Arnold Road, Kingston 6.
The safety and well-being of persons with special needs, such as the elderly and persons with disabilities, continues to be a major priority for us at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. We are making an impassioned plea to our senior citizens and persons with disabilities and their families and caregivers to exercise care and caution to protect themselves from this novel coronavirus. We are also urging all Jamaicans to be aware and follow the information from the health authorities. Wash and sanitize your hands regularly and practice social distancing. If you have any queries or special need assistance, please contact our toll-free COVID-19 emergency lines 888-429-5657-9. And you can WhatsApp us on 876-582-8988. We have a responsibility to work together and ensure that we have a healthy and safe environment for all of us in Jamaica.
Even as Jamaica steps up its fight against COVID-19, government is also scaling up activities to tackle incidents of domestic violence. If you or someone you know is experiencing abuse, call 876-553-0372 or 876-553-0387 for help.
Growing up, I've seen my father flip over the simplest of things. He would basically change from an angel to a devil in a flash. I remember this instance. My mom told me that she was coming home from work one evening because she worked very close to where he lived. She was coming home from work, and usually when you're leaving work, it's a lot of persons leaving at the same time, and she was talking to one of her co-workers and she smiled at him. He smiled back, and my father saw that, and when she went home, he was ready for her. He was like, "Oh, see, I smile at my pan the road, you smile at my pan the road." He beat her, he stripped her naked, and he chased her in front of the yard so all her co-workers could see. So all her co-workers could see her.
Domestic abuse or domestic violence is not just physical abuse. The physical abuse basically for us is the end product coming from somewhere else. So you have stalking, you have intimidation, you have threat, you have psychological abuse, the one that I'll tell you I play on your emotions as to what I can do.
It was known to everybody that this was the type of person she was dating. This was the type of man he was. Even the security at the gate, the manager, everyone. So it's not like her life was a secret. If she could not have any friends. He was the only person she could talk to, go anywhere with. If someone even talked to her and she not acknowledging them, she would get beaten for that. The least good thing, he would flip on her.
Usually, persons who are perpetrators of domestic violence are usually men, and usually they are persons who were controlling over their intimate partners. They tend to have a high level of jealousy, and they tend to be very possessive. And as such, you find that they will have a pattern of behavior where they will always check where the partner is by various means, whether by calling the person, ask the person where they are, also want to know who are they communicating with. So are they communicating persons on email, WhatsApp, other social media platform? They also want to make sure that they know where they are at all times and that they're not interacting with other persons outside, so they tend to want to have them stay home, for example, and lose connection with their families and friends.
As community members, we have a moral responsibility that within our homes and within our communities, once we are aware that there are instances of domestic abuse and domestic violence and we seek help, best place to go? To the police. Ask the police to intervene. Intervention can be that the police directs the victim to a counseling center, because we have partnership with churches. Right? We have partnership with other organizations, Justices of the Peace, counselors.
Every time she escaped him, he would either stalk her, chase her, go to her either friend's house, wherever she went, friend's house, mother's house, cousin's house, no matter where she went, he would find her, go for her with a gun, knife, machete, whatever it may be, and she would always have to go back with him. No one, no matter how much they try to fight and help her, he would always get her back. And when she goes back with him, the beating got worse, the abuse got worse, the rape got worse, everything got worse.
Domestic Violence Intervention Centers, one of those facilities that were donated by the U.S. Embassy, and it's a partnership between the JCF and the U.S. Embassy, to create a facility where persons can come and speak about domestic violence and domestic abuse related issues within their home. And so it's a safe space for both victims and perpetrator. And it offers counseling to family members, to victims, also to perpetrators. We have two centers that are currently operational. One is at the Matilda's Corner Police Station. You can call the Matilda's Corner Police Station for that. The other one is at Air 5 headquarters. That's on the same compound as Constant Spring Police Station. The number is 702-5120 or 702-5121.
We also have available mental health and suicide helpline. And this helpline is a 24-hour service, which is toll-free, where persons can call. So it can be either persons calling on behalf of others that they have been exposed to domestic violence. So the helpline is toll-free, and it's 888-NEW-LIFE, which is 888-639-5433. It's a 24-hour service, 7 days per week.
If you know someone is being abused, say something, do something.
And that's where we leave you on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Stay on top of all the useful COVID-19 related information. Visit jis.gov.jm. Follow us on all the major social media sites, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or download our mobile app that's smartphone compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything else will play.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Business Access. Who's access?
Business Access TV.
Serious.
Serious.
Serious about business.
Explore, engage, elevate. The Jamaica Stock Exchange is showcasing its online program here at its eCampus Open House and Corporate Mingle. Hi, I'm Javon Keys, and Business Access TV is here to bring you all the happenings. Stay tuned. The first segment of our program is the Open House, where the Jamaica Stock Exchange will be introducing its postgraduate certification programs offered through its eCampus. Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest will bring greetings.
I want to thank you for coming this evening to the JCE Campus's Open House. And, you know, when I was thinking about what I would say to you this evening, I said, you know, the fact that you come and, you know, it's immediately after August, which is the break, and I know you have a lot to do at the office, and also with the back to school. I am very pleased to see you all. You know, you have given us this evening pleasure in coming here. The intention this evening is to introduce to you the JC's exciting eCampus and the programs that we currently offer. And I'm smiling because I remember in 2012, at our launch, we said, and the program that we currently offer. And I am just excited about the fact that now we can say the programs, right, Dr. Lawrence, that we currently offer. And we feel that it is appropriate to share with you not only the number of programs we offer, but the level of certification that bolster our offerings. Because it is one thing to offer programs upon programs, but how does it enhance what you do? What can you do after you say, I've completed that program? There must be something to bolster it. And these include the accreditation by the University Council of Jamaica of our flagship program, the Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Services Management, our continuing professional development certification, which provides the stamp of approval from the CPD certification services in London that all our programs conform to continuing professional development principles, and also the approval from the Financial Services Commission of our online securities courses. The eCampus objectives are designed to match the objectives of the participants to our courses, which are to increase in the knowledge base of persons within the financial industry and the general marketplace. So we want to ensure that you know that while we operate within the financial industry, financial matters affect all companies. Am I correct, Dr. Lawrence? All companies. So it is a broad scope we are talking about. The ability also to practically utilize the training at the workplace and in the participants' daily life, and see to convert the training into a tangible currency. That is upward mobility in the organization. As the best performing exchange in the world, and you know, I would have to say that, right? For 2015, 2018, and we are second at this point to date in terms of what Bloomberg has said. But 2 weeks ago, we were number one. So we are watching this to see what will happen. And I want you to watch it with me so that we know where we are for the end of the year. But it is no secret that we have a very clear vision on what the standard in training in the financial services sector and its employees should be. So you would be coming to the right place. We understand that daily the rules of the game changes in the financial sector, as well as other sectors of commerce. And the risk in the market are greater now due to new and sophisticated products. You know, we're looking at bitcoins, and we are looking at other asset class, we would say. And, you know, as a result of that, the Jamaica Stock Exchange will be there to guide the market through these various sophisticated products. So, you know, there can be only one place to look. Our programs take these variables of this sophistication and all of that global changes in mind. And so there are several hundred persons working in the financial sector that will benefit from getting on board. We're hoping today to shed more light on the programs we offer, the matter of admission, the persons are here, or flexible payment plan, and the importance of the campus in general, and why we wish to engage you in having the campus as central to your thought. Whether as an individual or as a company or as HR, the campus must be central to your thoughts. Again, welcome.
On behalf of the JC Group and the eCampus, I would like to extend to you all a warm welcome and thanks for taking your time to be a part of this very informative event. I'm very pleased to be a part of the technical group which handles all technical matters relating to the eCampus. Our main objectives and goals and responsibilities are to provide training for our faculty members and our staff, as well as the eCampus administrative unit and our other stakeholders, such as our students and the general public at large. I will be demoing our relevant technologies that we use in our day-to-day operations, as well as I'll be, giving you some brief system requirements of the systems that we use. Our website is based on Moodle, which is basically the benchmark for all universities and tertiary institutions worldwide. Basically, every tertiary institution uses Moodle to develop their website in order to provide that hub, that platform, that community, which all our facilitators, our participants, technical administrators, and the administrative staff of the eCampus can interact.
eCampus was designed to engage the learner. I will briefly introduce you to some of its features and activities, beginning with the homepage. There is always something happening on eCampus and in the financial world, and eCampus Happenings is where you get the latest headlines. To your right, you will see a message notification box that shows messages sent to you from other students, your teachers, or administration. You will also notice a calendar that shows events for the current month. We'll talk more about calendar later. Let's move into one of my courses. To your left and to your right, you will notice several boxes that show you the latest news, all the course activities, upcoming course events, and others. You will notice that the course has an introduction. This section gives you all the information you need to know on the course. This section will also be updated to provide you with the latest information of most importance to the course material. You will also notice that the course has a general chat room and a general forum, two great ways of communicating with your peers. The forum lets you view topics created by teachers and other students. You can also create your own topics and comment on open ones. This is a great way to post general questions to your class members. The chat room allows you to have live chat sessions with class members who are currently online. Your teacher may sometimes use this as an open session to answer general queries. Let's now look at assignments. Assignments are given with clear instructions and may sometimes require you to submit a file. A file can be in PDF, Word, Excel. It all depends on what the teacher instructs you to do. And for the real deal, the course content. Content is delivered in video and audio. It lets you pause, skip, go back, and continue from wherever you left off the last time. The beauty about this experience is, if you didn't get the lecture the first time around, you can always go back and watch it again for as long as it's available. And let's look at the quiz. You get instant feedback as you answer each question, and your grade is known immediately at the end of each quiz. Didn't do so well? Don't worry. You get 3 attempts, but keep this in mind. The final grade will be the average of all 3 attempts. This is an online course, but you still get to see and talk with your lecturer. Each course has at least one web meeting session with your lecturer. In this session, the lecturer can share his screen with you as you work through a problem. He may also give you the floor so that you may be seen as you speak to the rest of the class. This is all for now. Thank you, and enjoy your eCampus learning experience.
The next video I'll be presenting is our web platform. We use a technology called Zoom webinars. I'm sure most of us might have been previously exposed or we have heard of Zoom before. It is a very interactive, collaborative tool that's very easy to use.
Expand your reach and build relevance with your target audience using Zoom video webinars. Zoom's flexible registration controls allow you to gather valuable information. Designate your interactive video panelists that can present and screen share with up to 10,000 attendees and to an unlimited audience with Facebook Live or YouTube streaming. The host can promote any viewer to an interactive panelist at any time. Live Q&A and chat allow you and your panelists to answer attendee questions on the fly. Registration, Q&A, and polling are all linked to detailed reporting. Zoom's powerful integrations help you get more out of your webinars. Monetize your content with our PayPal integration and simplify follow-up with our CRM integrations. Let your webinar live on after the live event by enabling our on-demand feature, allowing you to capture new registrants long after the webinar's end. Webinars are perfect for town hall meetings, large-scale trainings, product announcements, marketing lead generation, and more. Reach a broader audience and grow your impact with Zoom video webinars.
Great design is not only how things look, but also how well they work. The GLC, more than meets the eye.
Hi, this is Angelique Martin Spencer, Principal and Interior Decorator of Ash, Angelique Spencer Home, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
I never thought I'd hear the day when blackberries are archaic. It just goes to show that we have to keep up with the times, and the product that the JSE campus has, this online professional development platform, is keeping up with the times. People want what they want, when they want it on time, and they want it delivered in a convenient manner. Gone are the days when you're going to be expecting people to come after you have completed or you're in your workspace to come to a 2-year, you don't have the time, and no workplace can manage anything like that. So I'm here to give you an overview of what I term a marquee product of the eCampus. The product I want to give you an overview of, and I won't be very long, is called a Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Services Management. Long acronym there. The Postgraduate Diploma in Financial Services Management is an occupational graduate program. It is higher than a bachelor's degree and everything else, associates, so on. It is a graduate program. So it is a postgraduate qualification, and it is an occupational qualification. You'll hear a little bit more in a couple of slides what I mean, or the distinction between occupational versus academic. It offers industry participants opportunities for critical exploration of the regulatory framework, governance issues, financial products, and services in an academic climate of high intellectual rigor. And a part of why this program was developed was because of a recognition that someone may come to the financial sector with an MBA or a bachelor's degree from a recognized institution abroad. But the actual workings, the mechanism of how the financial sector works locally is not treated. And so there was a need for persons to get up to speed to be able to deliver products and services in a much more efficient way. And hence the concept here. But I must also say before I move to the next slide that the concept was a visionary one from Mrs. Merlin Street Forest. I mean, I'm sure she's accustomed to that term being associated with her name now. Matter of fact, you can probably say Merlin Visionary Forest. Because it was out of her idea, really, that this need was being filled. It is 15 months in length. And this, by the way, compares very well with similar occupational postgraduate degrees in the world. Now, what is a professional degree? Remember I said I'd tell you what the distinction between a professional and an academic degree. And I put it in bold there, partly. Well, first of all, let's go from the first bullet. It helps students to prepare for careers in their specific fields. So you have professional degrees in law, in pharmacy, in medicine, education. The length of the programs can vary, but span anywhere from 1 to 5 years. So 15 months is pretty optimal, as you can see. But important there, professional degrees are designed to directly prepare students for a particular career, hence the term professional or occupational degree. All right? And I just gave a list of a couple of them that exist. And part of the reason why I use Juris Doctor and Doctor of Medicine Because all of a sudden, when you hear about doctorates in these areas, you see prestige. So I'm making you understand that the postgraduate diploma in financial services management has pedigree. Now, what is an academic degree? An academic degree, the emphasis typically is about research. And I like to break it down for my students when they first enter in a class that I teach about research. Research is really about learning first. And it is that you are the lead learner in the field. And you're creating new knowledge. It's not about working with what you have. It's about creating new knowledge. And typically it's very heady and academic and published in journals and so on. So there's a clear distinction between an occupational or professional degree as opposed to an academic degree. So I looked at 5 reputable institutions in the Commonwealth. I chose the Commonwealth. The United States of America tends to have all kind of variants, but I wanted a system that we could compare to ours. So I looked at the UK and Canada, and I'm sure you recognize a number of these institutions here. There's the Seneca College of Applied Arts and Technology in Canada, Oxford University, the #1 university in the world, bar none, University of Salford, Manchester, London School of Business and Finance, and the famous London School of Economics, and Douglas College. Douglas College is Canada, Seneca College, Canada, rest obviously in the UK. They have those products there, and you can see the terms are very, very similar to the one that we have. The overall offerings are also very similar, okay? And look at the costing. You can't beat what we sell here. The role and function of the Jamaica Stock Exchange is very similar to the role and function of the UCJ, University Council of Jamaica. What both institutions have in common is that they tell potential stakeholders that you can trust this organization. So you are listed on the stock exchange, these people can be trusted. They won't be fly by night and take your money and disappear. And you know what I mean. The UCJ is telling us the same thing. In essentially, in an educational organization, you don't want to go and invest your time or your money in a fly-by-night organization. And there's much more to it. But I'm saying to you what UCJ says, you can trust this product. Now, it's important to note that whereas for the diploma, the postgraduate diploma, you need to do 14 courses, you may take any one course by itself. So you can decide, oh, you know, I want to know a little bit more about risk management. There's a course for that. I want to know about corporate governance. There's a course. So say I want to just do a course by itself, you can do that, as opposed to taking on all 14. There's no comparable program available at any of these institutions to compare with the $250,000 or so that it is being offered for here in Jamaica at the eCampus. Now, I did the benchmarking of the product itself, but I want to put also the context of the eCampus in this one slide. This is the London Stock Exchange, and I'm sure Mrs. Forrest knows, and those of us that have had the opportunity to take a look at the landscape, that London Stock Exchange has what they call an academy. They do not leave professional development of the financial sector up to chance. And what they use is the term bespoke. They are prepared to create bespoke professional development training opportunities for anybody, anywhere in the world. So if you want a course in Jamaica, they can make it for you, but we don't want you to do that. That is our site, and you can see down the bottom there, new and exciting upcoming workshops. That's the bespoke side of the eCampus. Entry requirements are listed here. And by the way, the third requirement there, speaking about material postgraduate diploma applicants. In other words, we're looking at industry experience. This isn't a willy-nilly thing. It is a part of how educational institutions have evolved, a part of how we now matriculate persons. Think of somebody who is a virtuoso at the guitar. They have never read a note in their life, but they can play it better than, drop something they can do. We say, okay, we won't invalidate that you can't read notes. Come and handle whatever action or activity in terms of playing a song or playing what you have done. And we can evaluate that and determine for what amount of credits or how that can be used to matriculate you into the system. So you may have entered the financial sector without necessarily, many people have soared to the top without beginning initially with any formal training. So we're not invalidating that. That's a reality. That's the way of the world. That's how every institution now operates. So that's what that mature applicants pertains to. So we say we will take industry experience as well as part of what can be used to matriculate you into the program. But first degree, JC Securities course, or any other FSC approved first level course, at least 3 years relevant experience within the financial services sector or a related field. So what we're saying is that this program is for you. Wherever you sit, this program is for you. If you're serious about advancement in your career. I don't know how many have recognized this gentleman. He was the former head of Heart NTA. And now that's a national body, and now he's the head of the Caribbean Examinations Council, CSEC. So he has moved from head of a national organization to now the head of a regional organization. He has a PhD in industrial engineering. He said this. He came and did the program. And at the graduating ceremony, he described it as by far one of my most consequential studies when he came and did the program here. And as a part of what this program is about, ultimately the persons that leave are the brand ambassadors. And he was so pleased that he was prepared to say this about not comparing his industrial engineering degree from University in Florida and the list of other qualifications he had. He felt that this was one of his most, because it helped him, according to him, when we spoke to him, to function in his role as the CEO of his organization. Because he said he would sit down sometimes in meetings prior to this and hear about them talking about the budget, and he couldn't understand what was going on. But subsequent to the program, he was able now to plot the institution's financial development, which is quite a big deal for us. So we're very proud of him, one of our graduates, Dr. Wayne Wesley. So I call it a marquee product. As a scientist, I try not to use words idly. I'm very serious about it.
When we return, you'll hear from our guest speaker. Who is it? You'll find out when we come back. Stay with us.
Cash flow and budgeting analysis. A business can be profitable and still run into trouble due to cash flow issues. We can forecast and evaluate your company's financial condition, estimate financing requirements, and track cash flow sources and uses. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
I'm Adam Strud. This is Business Access TV, serious about business.
I am Jackie Tyson, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Tonight's speaker, she said I shouldn't call her a guest speaker. So tonight's speaker is a friend of the eCampus. Not only is she known for her 25+ years experience in the field of risk and compliance, she is also a known attorney at law, a senior manager, and company secretary at KPMG. She is known for her down-to-earth, bubbly, and refreshing personality. However, tonight, she's not here in her capacity as senior manager. She is here to speak to us about the postgraduate certificate in Chartered Secretary and the ICSA course that the eCampus offers. Our speaker is the head of the Jamaica branch of the ICSA and will be sharing with us the benefits of enrolling in a course such as this. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mrs. Elizabeth Henry Pottinger.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be here because I believe that the ICSA qualification is one of the ones that the JSE campus has snagged, and I am sure that at the end of this presentation this evening, many persons will be signing up to become qualified as a chartered secretary. This qualification is over 100 years old. It's headquartered in England, and many Jamaican persons used to travel all the way to England or self-study to learn to be a qualified company secretary. But now, the ICSA is being brought right here on your eCampus, right at your fingertips, as I heard someone said earlier this evening. I have my colleague, Jean Douglas, who is a chartered secretary as well, and she has been practicing a few years before me, and she knows the in and outs of being a chartered secretary. So why qualify with the ICSA? I like to say that it brings you right into the boardroom, and it brings you to the seat of decision making. And this is where the skills are mainly practiced, but it is multidisciplinary. You can be an accountant, you can be a company secretary, you can do risk management. Our qualification will help you to build the skills that will equip you for a career in a variety of sectors and organizations. So we offer a standalone qualifications which cover financial services, and this includes investments and fund management, legal and regulatory requirements, which is my focus, understanding of corporate strategy and structures, the skill to support and advise and enable directors and the board to make the right decisions. So you see that it places you right at the seat of decision making. Here we go. So why is this qualification? Why is this, and what are some of the benefits? You get a chartered status, which is the benchmark for company secretaries and governance professionals. It shows you have the knowledge, the skills and experience to take on a job with significant and wide-ranging responsibilities. It gives you access to thought leadership, research, and our highly respected guidance notes. You get free access to our technical helpline, and the qualification is transferable across major countries. So if you're a chartered secretary in Jamaica, you move to England or Australia or Canada, you can use the same qualifications at the same level. You do not lose your ranking. And the membership is transferable to any ICSA division as long as you're a resident in that division. So this is the stepping stone for your qualification. And pay attention to this particular slide, because different persons will fit in at different steps You have the foundation, the part 1, and the part 2 qualifications. So the foundation program entry, if you hold a degree or a higher national diploma in either law, accounting, business studies, or business management, then you'll be required to sit and pass the foundation level, which is what we just showed you. The foundation level is the one in red, down the bottom there. So part 1 entry, if you hold any of the following qualifications, you may be eligible to start at part 1. So the HND in law or accounting, HND or degree in business studies or business management, ICSA level 5 diploma in offshore finance and admin, level 5 diploma in finance and administration, or an unrelated degree, and have 5 years or more experience in a company secretarial or governance professional role. So the related degree, entry law. These are law graduates holding an approved UK degree in law, and you'll start at part 1 and will be eligible for exemption from the company law module. So if I go back to that presentation, there's a company law. If you have a law degree, you will be exempt from writing the company law section of part 1, but you would skip the foundation level. So if you have a related degree entry in finance, and the graduates holding an approved UK degree in finance will start at part 1 and will be eligible for exemption from the interpretation of financial accounting module. If you have an MBA entry, they will have to review what your MBA was in and give you the relevant exemptions that are applicable. So for the professional entry, law, lawyers with fewer than 5 years professional experience will start at part 1 and will be eligible for an exemption from the company law module. They may, subject to previous knowledge, qualification, and experience, also be eligible for an exemption from the development of strategy mode. You must be a member of the bar, and the Jamaican bar is acceptable to the ICSA qualification. Professional entry in accounting. Accountants with fewer than 5 years professional experience will start at part 1 and will be eligible for an exemption from the interpretation of financial accounting information module. They may, subject to previous knowledge, qualification, or experience, also be eligible for an exemption in the development of strategy mode. The fees, I think it's comparable to what we have heard earlier. The fees, the program says that you have a registration fee of £77. There's a subscription of £135. To be exempted, though, you have to pay £157 per module. And the exam fee is also £157 per module. And there's a study text per module. And note that the annual subscription fee is payable to maintain your student membership. So it means that in order to even do those 2 papers, the case study and the other paper, you must register as a student of the Institute of Chartered Secretary. The ways to study: tuition provider, which the eCampus is a registered tuition provider, and you will be taken through your paces through the through this eCampus. I don't want to say too much about the other study. You can self-study as well, but I have found that most people who self-study, they have a great difficulty in passing the exam. So I would encourage you to sign up with the eCampus and take advantage of all of the help that you can get. This is a worthwhile qualification, I can tell you. And we have some postgraduate partners, and I think the eCampus, I'm not sure that you're a postgraduate partner as yet, but you are a provider of the services. We have a link that you can find the full list of postgraduate courses and providers. And here are some facts I provided for you. Students must register with both the university and the ICSA prior to completing the course. And your fees vary from that of ICSA, the fees that you pay to the eCampus, and your membership fees are payable directly to the institute. So for the foundation program, which is the red box that we skipped over earlier, there are 4 papers here. Introduction to the business environment, introduction to finance and accounting, and I can tell you that that is not really an introductory course. It is much deeper than an introductory course. Principles of company compliance and administration and introduction to law. What does it involve? This is the foundation course, 15 to 200 learning hours that develop your understanding of the fundamentals, including introduction to the business environment, finance, law, compliance, and admin. There's a 1 closed book 3-hour exam, and it covers all of the 4 modules. It leads to the foundation program certificate at level 4, and the right to continue to study for the qualifying program. So remember that there are 3 levels, the foundation, part 1 and part 2. Some people might be exempted from the foundation in its entirety. Some will be exempted from parts of part 1. Some will be exempted from all of part 1. And some will be exempted from part of the part 2, depending on your years of experience and your qualification.
The presentations may be over, but the event isn't quite done. Now let's go mingle.
Accounting software selection and implementation. With the number of computerized accounting software packages available for small businesses and individuals growing every day, selecting one that is right for you has become increasingly difficult. As accounting professionals, we have knowledge of most programs, either through personal experience or industry literature. Our experienced staff can help you choose and implement the system that best fits your needs. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo. The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
We go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
So, Mrs. Street Forest, the eCampus was launched in 2012 and it's a number of years now. What's the traction been like and what can we expect going forward from this regime introduced by the JSC?
We have been successful in having many students from all different industries partake of the programs that we have. The flagship program, which is the postgraduate diploma in financial services management, and all the other workshops, the attending workshops that talk about products and services within the financial sector and otherwise. Our uptick has been very good. You know, we have had the accreditation from UCJ. We also have approval from the Financial Services Commission and the CPD certification. And these bolster just what people get from the program, hands-on and also qualification to take them to the next level. And you know, we are looking at areas such as blockchain technology, digital asset management, digitization of your organization. These are some things that are critical to the success of organizations, and whatever comes within the environment that will lead to a better and more sustainable financial sector, we are there. So these are the programs that we continue to offer, and anything that evolves, we offer those as well.
So Dr. Benjamin, talk to us about the accreditation for the courses. Now many persons may be concerned, yes, they hear about the courses being offered, but generally a concern is there about accreditation. Are these courses accredited?
Yes, very good question. I want to first of all give us a sense of what accreditation means. In my earlier presentation, I pointed out that at the center of accreditation is a matter of public trust. And persons can think about it as you would think about being listed on the stock exchange, for example. What that means is that possible persons who want to invest know that the money is not going to disappear when they invest it. Academic accreditation is relatively similar. The University Council of Jamaica provides a platform and relevant processes and procedures that when a company or when an institution, when a program has been accredited by the University Council of Jamaica, what they're saying is that potential stakeholders, students who might come on board, financiers, matter of fact, you can't get a student loan if you're not going to be going in an accredited program. So you're saying to the person that, look, this is a program that is trustworthy. It is going to add value. It is the kind of program that will be recognized wherever in the world that you go. And so the JSC campus postgraduate diploma in financial services management is one such accredited program.
And for persons generally who may be interested in, let's say, pursuing this course, how well does it tie in, or how different is it from any other postgraduate degree, let's say, offered by any other institution? Why is it that I should choose doing this program over any other? Absolutely. No, the program is offered by the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus. One of the key mandates of the eCampus from its parent body was to ensure that the
providers of financial services in the landscape are well equipped to provide advice, to provide innovative services and products to the market. And in order for this to happen, they have to have a firm understanding of the governance structures of the banking industry, financial services industry, understand international best practices, of course, local best practices, and so on. And we ensure that all our graduates, when they leave the program, through having done the 14 courses, there are about 17 outcomes we have put there. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. But among them are the essentials to be able to advise and to develop and implement products, both financial products, as well as to provide advice to potential clients as to how to invest their own money. Yes.
So you're saying, of course, by all means, it's the best program to choose to do.
It is the best program because it is customized for the Jamaican context. And even if somebody has another degree, they would probably be studying a lot of theories, and it's not that we don't do theory work in the postgraduate diploma in financial services management, but that we are looking at it more as an occupational and an applied degree, so that it is more practical, it's more hands-on, it's more oriented towards being able to respond to the needs of the Jamaican local context.
So, Mr. Parks, the Jamaica Stock Exchange's eCampus has a wide range of courses offered. Tell us a bit about these programs.
Sure. Well, our flagship program is our postgraduate diploma in financial services management. We have a suite of other postgraduate certificates that are offered, including we have the compliance and information governance, we have the financial planning and wealth management, we have the brokerage operations, and many others that are specialized to the different sector. So because we cater to the financial services sector, we have persons who need more enhanced training for security brokers, banking, insurance, and any other entity that offers financial services in general. But we also offer a suite of workshops that are specifically designed to enhance the learning outcomes, to ensure that persons can become a more enhanced desk-ready operant. That is, we highlight gaps that might be there in the marketplace in terms of from an HR perspective, and also persons who are interested in upgrading their skill, because we are CPD certified, which is a continued professional development certification that comes through London, England, and we ensure that everything that we offer are at the highest level to enable all of our participants to be desk-ready operant, or to be a desk-ready operant, and bring an immediacy in terms of the know-how right to their desk for the benefit of the organizations as a whole.
Now, I know your focus is on strengthening persons in the financial sector, but are there any plans to also offer courses for persons who may not necessarily have a degree now, but may be interested in learning about becoming financially savvy and strengthening their wherewithal as it relates to financial education?
Well, sure. We offer the Jamaica Online Securities course, which is a minimum entry-level requirement for persons who require the basic knowledge. So we cater to varying personnel from that perspective. So persons who require to be licensed by the Financial Services Commission. The Jamaica Online Securities course that we offer is the minimum qualification that the FSC would assess in order to license you to give professional advice. We have persons who gravitate to that program, not necessarily because they want to give advice, but they want to have a better understanding in order to navigate the financial markets as a whole, to ensure that their whole financial health can be enhanced.
So you've basically gotten the best of both worlds, a platform where information is shared and another where it's discussed. I'm Javon Keys, I've been your host, and thanks to you for staying tuned to the Jamaica Stock Exchange's eCampus Open House and Corporate Mingle. And thanks to the Jamaica Stock Exchange for having such an event where they're showcasing the offerings of their eCampus. Thanks for staying with us. Pleasant viewing.
started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything else will play.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Hello, my name is Blake Widmer. I'm the co-founder of Deaf Can Coffee. And the exposure that we had to the just general community through Business Access TV itself is awesome. It was a big deal for them, having BATV come here, and we were with you guys for probably 4 hours that day. It was a long time. We really appreciate your guys' openness to recognize that, yeah, captions are important. If a deaf person's watching it, how are they gonna understand what's being said? So looking back is just a big boost, encouragement for our team. If you're a business or an organization that wants to have yourselves featured on BATV, or you want to do advertising with BATV, what I would tell them is that you guys listen well and you ask good questions, and that will help, at the end of the day, deliver a really good product for your business too.
Your business matters. Promote it on Business Access TV.
Have grown from 20 million US to now having 800 million US dollars.
Knowledge, skill, and professionalism. Those are my tools and my armor.
It's a big men don't cry, right? It's a big men don't cry, right?
We were being robbed some $531,000.
I've been angry to the point where I feel like I would get it big.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange wishes to help to develop the social sector. To that end, they have formed the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, which is a safe, efficient, and transparent platform that aims to promote social projects that build Jamaica and will inure to the benefit of all persons living in the country.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange is a company that encourages and mobilizes capital for the main market, and that is the market that is not the social sector. Now, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange is really geared towards the social sector to help to solve social problems in the field of health, education, about children, environment. Those are some of the things that we consider social problems. And so it is to mobilize the capital, allow persons who have a desire to invest in a social good, to invest in the social stock exchange. It is designed in two parts. In phase one, where we look at social investment, and phase two, where we look at social impact investment. Now, in phase one, really what we are saying is it is donation. An organization will have a social issue and design it into a project or a program and invite Jamaicans or persons within the diaspora or the entire world to fund this program. Now in phase two, you're going to get a return on investment which is not social. You will be getting shares, natural shares, as you would get if you invested in the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And what you'll get is a return on capital, which is possibly dividend or an appreciation in that share. The Jamaica Social Stock Exchange does more than ask for the funding of these programs, but goes beyond that in terms of monitoring, ensuring that these programs are meeting the targets and the reason for them to have asked for funding in the first place. When we look at this new sector, it is important because holistically, if you do not look on the social sector, you do not improve the other sectors. We want to encourage all businesses in Jamaica to have a corporate social responsibility because it is good for encouraging and the growth and development of businesses.
The history of dietetics can be traced as far back as the writings of Homer, Plato, and Hippocrates in ancient Greece. Although diet and nutrition continued to be judged important for health, dietetics did not progress much until the 19th century with the advances in chemistry. The profession was given a boost during the Second World War when its importance was recognized by the military. Today, professional dietetic associations can be found on every continent, and registered dietitians are involved in health promotion and treatment and work alongside physicians. The growing need for dietetics professionals is driven by a growing public interest in nutrition and the potential of functional foods to prevent a variety of diet-related conditions. So, we had a chat with the program director for dietetics at UTEC on this episode of Career Moves.
I'm Ava Simpson. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm currently serving as the program director for the Dietetics and Nutrition course of study at the University of Technology, Jamaica. Dietetics and nutrition is a combined field. What we are looking at is the nutritional status of individuals. So the dietetics and nutrition look at managing that nutritional status. The nutrition component we tend to think of as dealing with well people. The dietetics we tend to more think of dealing with sick persons. But they are combined and they both support each other.
Dietitians apply the science of human nutrition to help people understand the relationship between food and health in making the right dietary choices, so they can often be found working in various sectors.
You will mainly find the dietitians working in hospitals. You can find them in industries as well. There are several areas of work, but the one that is more common and persons tend to be used to seeing is the clinical dietitians or those working in hospitals. So you will find that the clinical dietitians, they will look about the nutritional status of the individual, and they tend to also administer the food service sections in the hospital as well. You can find a media dietitian, you can find a dietitian doing promotions for a group of supermarkets. I'm in education, you can find them in marketing, you can find them in product development, in science. So there are quite a number of areas that you can find the dietitians.
Ava notes that the job is not gender neutral, but oftentimes it's the passion to help individuals make better choices which leads people to studying dietetics.
We are not very specific about who can become. As long as you can matriculate and meet the requirements, you can become a dietitian. And it's not gender specific either. In looking at many of the applications that I get in, most of them have a passion for looking about individuals and want to look at the nutritional health of individuals. So what you find is that looking at the epidemiological profile of the population, what we are saying is many of the illnesses are related to diet, what people eat. And therefore, many persons become interested when they find out how important what you eat and how you eat is to your health. Many persons tend to lean towards wanting to do the science. I was applying for university and not sure where I wanted to go. I knew it was something in the medical field, but not exactly sure what it is that I wanted. And therefore, I met Heather Little-White, and she introduced the profession to me. She said you could go to, it was then CAST, and do the program at CAST, and then you could go on to complete the degree and become a dietitian. I did not develop as a straight path in dietetics. I did a diploma in dietetics and nutrition from the then CAST, College of Arts, Science and Technology, and then I went on to work as a paraprofessional in the hospital. So I started working at the Conway Regional Hospital, and I worked there for many years as a food service manager. I left and went into industry for a number of years, and then the passion beckoned. The call to come back to dietetics beckoned. And so when UTech started offering the degree towards completing for a registration, I applied, completed the degree, and the Ministry of Health offered an internship. So I went into the internship program and completed as a dietitian. I also started working as a dietitian at the Conway Regional Hospital and the Western Regional Health Authority.
She shares what goes into the daily preparation and day-to-day affairs of a dietitian.
As I said, there are several arms of the dietetics profession, so you might find yourself in promotion, in administrative dietetics. In administrative dietetics, in say a hospital, what we would normally be looking at is producing the meals. So we look at preparation and production of the meals. Our need comes from the patients on the ward. So we are going to prepare meals according to the needs for the patients on the ward or whoever the hospital is catering to at that time. So we would look about that, and you could look at the whole production, food production there for meals. The other section is going to be the clinical section, where we would either be sitting in the clinics or the patient would come to us in our offices for counseling. So we could be doing nutrition education to the clients out there, or we could also be doing the in-depth nutritional assessment for individual clients. We are fulfilling a great need, and it is sometimes sad when we spend so much in the curative areas when we should be spending a lot more on prevention.
Hey guys, I'm Candy and welcome to Chill Spot, Jamaica's ultimate leisure show. This season promises to reveal some of the hidden treasures of the lifestyle industry by taking you to the chill spots of some of Jamaica's most brilliant business minds, giving you a glimpse into how they choose to unwind and just hold a vibe. You won't want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
I think so, because what you see is a westernizing of our diet, because back then, our diet used to be more complex. And now with the ease of obtaining meals and the affordability, we have a lot of communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension.
Well, I don't have information as to the amount of dietitian to the population, but what I do believe is that they're an integral part of the healthcare team and that people should have access to a dietitian, particularly those who have chronic diseases.
I absolutely believe that we need more dietitians in Jamaica, because even though some persons might have the desire to be more health conscious, to live a more wholesome life, they don't necessarily know the right way to go about doing this. So a dietitian would assist in this regard.
Dietetics is a vital, growing field open to creativity and opportunity, and the possibilities are endless. So students, upon entering UTech, are expected to meet the matriculation requirements.
So the prerequisites for matriculation to this university, we require at least five CSEC or equivalent. So that's math, English, chemistry, biology, or human and social biology, and one other science subject.
But what happens when you've entered through the gates of UTech?
So now that they're at UTech, they have to complete the university's requirement for a degree, and then we do what is called the core modules for the professional group. And so we would look in depth at chemistries, nutritional biochemistry, biochemistry. We have to do all the nutrition coming up. So we start from basic nutrition onto advanced nutrition. And we also have to look at the clinical aspect. So we want to look at the clinical nutrition aspect as well. So all of those would come into the training for persons. After you come to UTech and you graduate now, we are giving a Bachelor of Science in Dietetics and Nutrition. They require the 1-year supervised practice or practicum or clinical practice. After that, UTech is also currently offering that equivalent program, which we call a postgraduate diploma in dietetics and nutrition. So they can do the 4-year degree, go on to the postgraduate degree, diploma, and then complete their full training to become a dietitian. The Northern Caribbean University, they also offer a degree in dietetics and nutrition.
Dietitians play a key role in the management of diseases and conditions and may be seen as beneficial to your health.
I once read that if we could tackle the obesity problem, then it would be well worth the time spent in training. And therefore, you could well imagine that obesity is central to all the chronic illnesses and therefore could really prevent obesity in our society. In preventing obesity and many of the chronic illnesses, we are looking at productivity, we are looking at cost in the healthcare system, and therefore the final analysis is the budget and the cost it takes to manage all of these illnesses. We are fulfilling a great need, and it is sometimes sad when we don't look more at the preventative aspect of managing many of these illnesses, and we spend so much in the curative areas when we should be spending a lot more on prevention. The nutrition interventions and the interventions by the dietitians in preventing many of these illnesses could be very, very valuable to our society.
However, in Jamaica, the field is not fully utilized and could see room for further employment.
The traditional areas, we may say, are a bit saturated at this time. We recognize that the ratio for dietitians to population is very, very low in this society, so we are not meeting, so we are not seeing a need for them. But if we should look at international standards, then we would really recognize that we have a much greater need for persons to work in this area. We have not tapped into many of the non-traditional areas where dietitians are needed. So we are not there as much into the research areas. We are not there as much into the food industries, into the agricultural areas, into the school feeding programs. We have not even tapped into those areas as yet. So there is great need and potential for growth for the persons in this area. We do get a fair amount of applicants for the program. We get more than we would need on a yearly basis. And they come in and they are very passionate about what they really want to do for the population in terms of looking at the nutritional health of persons.
Well, when it comes to job security, Ava says no job is ever secure.
I am not sure about job security. There are no jobs that are very secure. Those persons who work in the government system, they tend to want that security of tenure in those areas. But in other areas, it depends on where you work. If you go to an industry that is growing and you have proved your worth in those areas, then you could see yourself being there for quite a while. We really need persons to understand the roles and functions of dietitians and what they do and how they can assist individuals.
This week on Home Sweet Home, we go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
This is Caroline Smith, marketing implementer for Sol Western Caribbean for Shell Lubricants, and you're watching Business Access TV, and they are serious about business.
Dietitians work with groups and also on an individual basis with patients of all ages, so a number of key skills are required.
Key skills, we're going to look at critical thinking. Somebody must be able to analyze information, because once you collect all of that information about the individual, you look at assessment and then you will have to draw conclusions. And from this conclusion, now you're going to plan for this individual, and then you are now going to implement that information. So I would say critical thinking skills is very important in this particular area. We also want persons who can find accurate information, be able to probe deeply and be able to pull out accurate information from persons. We really need persons to understand the roles and functions of dietitians and what they do and how they can assist individuals. Too often when clients come to see me, they come at the end of the road and they keep asking, why wasn't I sent before, or why didn't I know about your services before, or so. So we tend to get them at the end of the road. We want to get them early, before disease start prevention. We want to get them early in the course so that we can manage to prevent other complications. And if they come later in the day, we want to get them when we can do something for them. We don't want to get them at the end of the road when there's hardly anything we can do. We can just make their lives comfortable.
Graduates are prepared for work in a wide range of areas, including private practice, patient and clinic care.
I see a number of persons getting jobs. We work as medical professionals, and therefore a lot goes on in the medical field. We want to see the persons going out into the industry areas, being able to provide, because if we are going to be asking persons to choose certain types of foods, we want the supportive environment. So we want to be able to see persons' products out there that are low salt, that are low sugar, that are appropriate in the potassium content. We want to be able to tell persons how to eat and to make sure that the agricultural produce do meet their requirements. So we want persons in those areas to make sure that our products are good quality products, and that after we recommend all of this, persons will be able to eat and be nutritionally well. I think for the purposes of this, I'm going to say the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist is based on their academic development. Now, the dietitian would have gone through the 4-year degree in dietetics and nutrition, done the internship, and then moved on to register as a dietitian. The nutritionist here in Jamaica comes in at a different level. They come in with a master's level, and they are more prepared for group development of group programs, prepared for the research areas, and so forth. So there is a very complementary role for the dietitians and nutritionists here in Jamaica.
Knowledge of nutrition and healthy foods is just one component. But what about the misconceptions?
There is opportunities for growth and development. We can see, as I said, in Jamaica, we are just starting out, so there is a lot in terms of product development. There's a lot in terms of research. There is quite a bit in terms of marketing of the services for these individuals. I'm not sure if you have seen any dietitian working with a chain of supermarkets as yet, which would be something that would give persons on-the-spot information and so forth. So there is quite a bit that could happen as it relates to development and scope for these persons. And we didn't even talk about the changing nature of how we would want to change the food service industry. Because if we are going to promote that persons should make healthy choices, if they want a low-fat choice, that low-fat choice must be on offer for them to be able to access those low-fat, low-sugar, and so choices. Compensation is based on where you work and the level that you are at. So somebody starting out very junior is going to start out with a junior salary, and many of those persons, the salary is what is paid by the government. So if you are a paraprofessional with the government in the technical services, that is what you would get at the paraprofessional level. And at the professional level where the dietitians start, you would be getting the same as, say, the pharmacists or the radiographers or so, the same basic salary in those areas. So it's comparable to those other paramedic professions that they would get. And as persons move on to different areas, depending on where you're at, you could command your good or better salaries.
AVA is calling out the government to take a step in assisting this field in further developing its growth in Jamaica.
As said, we are hoping that we could look at the ratio of dietitians to population. In Jamaica, we are nowhere near the ratio that we should be. So if the government look in that way, and I want to be bold and to say to them, if they do not look at the nutritional health of the population, they would not be achieving their goals for Vision 2030, and therefore they must look at the contributions that should come from dietitians and nutritionists in terms of meeting those goals. And in every area that they want to think of, the dietitians and the nutritionists are important. We were harping on a number of the areas, but if we look at the life cycle, we want to look at pre-birth, before the child is born. There is a role to play with that pregnant mother. There is even a role to play even before the woman becomes pregnant. So we're looking at pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, at birth for these children into that first year of life. We're looking at the other years following. We're looking at teenage or adolescent period. We're looking at the adult period, the elderly, where we would see a number of the chronic illnesses coming in. So if we want to look at even the scope, we could look at just the life cycle area, and we could see that there is quite a bit of scope for this profession.
And as always, here are some tips in getting ahead.
Students who want to become dietitians should think about the chemistry. They should look at the chemistry modules at school. If we are going to be studying the body, then we are looking a lot at the bodily processes, and chemistry is very important to that study. You want to make sure that you do well at math. We have to do quite a bit of calculations, and our calculations have to be accurate. You also want to look at your communication skills. You have to communicate with other professionals, and therefore you have to look at your communication skills. So we want to encourage them to get their good grades in all the subjects that are required to make it into the university. And when they come into university, they don't lose focus. It's a medical field. It's not very, very easy, but it is manageable. And therefore, once you are focused, you will complete your degree and you can get honors with your degree and move on to doing your internship and becoming a registered dietitian.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange wishes to help to develop the social sector. To that end, they have formed the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, which is a safe, efficient, and transparent platform that aims to promote social projects that build Jamaica and will inure to the benefit of all persons living in the country.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange is a company that encourages and mobilizes capital for the main market. And that is the market that is not the social sector. Now, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange is really geared towards the social sector to help to solve social problems in the field of health, education, about children, environment. Those are some of the things that we consider social problems. And so it is to mobilize the capital, allow persons who have a desire to invest in a social good, to invest in the social stock exchange. It is designed in two parts. In phase one, where we look at social investment, and phase two, where we look at social impact investment. Now, in phase one, really what we are saying is it is donation. An organization will have a social issue and design it into a project or a program and invite Jamaicans or persons within the diaspora or the entire world to fund this program. Now in phase two, you're going to get a return on investment which is not social. You will be getting shares, natural shares, as you would get if you invested in the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And what you'll get is a return on capital, which is possibly dividend or an appreciation in that share. The Jamaica Social Stock Exchange does more than ask for the funding of these programs, but goes beyond that in terms of monitoring, ensuring that these programs are meeting the targets and the reason for them to have asked for funding in the first place. When we look at this new sector, it is important because holistically, if you do not look on the social sector, you do not improve the other sectors. We want to encourage all businesses in Jamaica to have a corporate social responsibility because it is good for encouraging and the growth and development of businesses.
started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
On The Good Life, we'll take a look at our very own castor oil and why it deserves a place in every home. We'll talk to Joel Harris of Shavot Farms, and then later on we'll visit Somerset, Manchester to see castor oil production done the old-fashioned way. Stay with us. So we did a walkthrough of Shavot Farms, and now we're here with Mr. Joel Harris, who's the marketing director and co-founder of Shavot International, and he's going to talk to us a little bit more about his business. Mr. Harris, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. So talk to me about Shavot International. What is it that you guys do?
Shavot International is a manufacturing and brand Shavot, the brand Shavot. And Shavot means harvesting goodness. What we do essentially is that we take all natural, authentic Jamaican products and we turn them into unique products. In other words, we take them from the ground, the farm level, and we turn them into agro-processed products. So in other words, we turn them into value-added products that we can share with Jamaica.
We're here today to talk about castor oil and how you go about producing that.
Well, first of all, let's establish the traditional method of Jamaican black castor oil dating back for centuries. It's a Jamaican culture, enriched culture product that persons take by harvesting the seeds from their farm or from their backyard or so, like your grandmother would know and so. And after harvesting, the seeds are then dried. And they would roast the seeds until they have a dark charcoal, not charcoal, but dark, very dark in color. When the seeds are roasted, then the seeds are taken into a mortar. And if you go back to your history, you know the pestle and the mortar, when you have your grandma making the curry and then grinding it up into the mortar. No, when that happens, they then take the grounded seeds, the broken seeds, and then put it into a boiling process. And that boiling process helps now, exactly, so the oil and water doesn't mix, so the oil of course rises to the top, and of course the trash or so is sinks to the bottom, and then you will have person have a ladle and scoop off the oil, skim the oil. And that oil is then filtered through like a muslin cloth or so, and then when it's cooled down, it's bottled.
Well, castor production here is a growing industry. Why did you decide to get into it?
Well, women, we have been hearing a lot of demand from women wanting to go all natural. And one of the products that are on the market was Jamaican black castor oil. By the time we knew nothing about Jamaican black castor oil, we were in tea production. It was way out of the range for us. And what we decided to do was like, you know, this could be a potential for us. So we asked women, what do they like, what you don't like, how you use it, you know, what about day, type of night, treatment usage, everything. And we got positive response, and they just wanted authentic Jamaican black castor oil. The problem is that there's so many different countries producing Jamaican black castor oil, and it's not from Jamaica. And we said, you know what, we want to make a difference in the industry. Let us produce an authentic, recognized brand of Jamaican black castor oil. That's how we started.
You've been on the market for some time now.
Yes, we've been in the market for about 1.5 years with our Jamaican black castor.
What has the feedback?
Positive, very, very positive. What happened is that persons love Jamaican black castor oil, but they don't like a pungent smell. That pungent smell. Like we've been having to be washing out their hair tirelessly just to come outside. And so we figure that by monitoring our roasting levels and the temperature that we adjust to our castor oil, we find that we're able to adjust that smell. So it has a nice lighter aroma that persons actually can adjust to. And persons can just rub into their hair and just walk outside and have no problem. That's our main key factor with our Jamaican black castor oil. This heavy on this, light on the scent, but same great quality, no additives, no preservatives. No salt is found in our products, so your hair won't be falling out. And it's on the go. We sell it in a 4-ounce bottle. You can find it in Fontana pharmacies. You can find it in Discount Beauty Earth Elements and Cheers Hermer and other major beauty care salons as well as hair care stores. We export to Australia, we export to the UK as well as the US. And there have been growing demands around the world for Jamaican black castor oil. Of course, persons are asking, what else can you do apart from Jamaican black castor oil? Putting it in a shampoo or conditioning format or a body cream or body butter. So we have been getting an overwhelming positive feedback and response for Jamaican black castor oil.
Have you done the grandmother test where you give it to an old lady and,
Yes,
how does this compare?
We have. And persons have a feeling of nostalgia. Persons who are abroad, so yeah man, this is the real Jamaican black castor oil, remembering the smell and so, and the texture and feel. But of course, them kind of a shriek because back in their days, they don't really put it in them hair, they use it as a washout.
Yeah.
And of course, they would be going and they'll be giving it to their kids and their moms would have been giving it to them and they're thinking, using it for drinking. So no, it's just for personal hair care use. We say to people that yes, Jamaican black castor oil have been traditionally being used for internal purposes, but we heavily recommend that you do not do so, and it's for external purposes. Just because one, we don't want to be persons to rush into the hospital because of accident or anything like that. But we say that it is best to use for external purposes.
We had visited your farm earlier, and it's quite a sizable farm. Talk to us about your farm and what type of labor force goes into such a farm.
Right. We grow on 150 acres, and we also buy from other local farms. Currently to date, we had production up to 80 acres of production. Now, our castor is grown organically. That means no additional fertilizers, no chemicals. What we do is, of course, that we do weeding to make sure the land is clear. We dig up the land, of course, and the soil to make sure that the soil receives the seeds properly. And we plant in a time to where we expect rainfall. Now, additionally, what we also add is drip irrigation. That also balances out the times when there are periods of drought. Now, the castor plant is resilient, but is not fully drought resistant. So, without enough water, it will hamper the amount of yield that we will get from the castor plant. Now, the castor, 1 acre of castor will produce about between 1,200 to 3,000 pounds of castor seed. What that means is that if without irrigation, you can expect 1,000 to 1,200. With irrigation and somewhat of natural fertilizer, maybe chicken manure or even just compost, you can increase those yields nearing to 3,000 pounds per acre. Now, it takes about on average 2 to 3 workers to complete an acre, sizable acre within a day. When it is mature, the pods are mature, is handpicked and harvested, and then placed into large carcass bags. There it is weighed initially, and the weight is usually get between maybe 30, 40 pounds maybe per bag, a bit more, depending on the bearing, clusters and stuff. And from there it is then taken into a large laid out tarpaulin and large drying area. And of course the seeds are then laid out, the branches are laid out, and then they're waiting until the green pods turn brown, dry and crispy. From there it is then taken into a hollow that removes the shells from the seeds. So the seeds are extracted and the pods are then, the waste is then extracted. And from there it is in the process now of turning from the seeds into Jamaican black coffee.
All right, so we've discussed with Mr. Harris his castor oil factory and the farm, but you have to stay with us because when we return we have our Need to Know segment and you learn all about the benefits of using castor oil. Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
My name is Levon Flynn, and you're watching Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Welcome back to The Good Life. We are still here with Mr. Joel Harris of Shavat Farms, and we've been discussing castor oil production. But before we continue, check out our Need to Know segment. Castor bean trees are originally from India, but today they can be found in Mediterranean areas. And in Jamaica, they can grow just about anywhere. According to the Guinness World Book in 2007, castor bean plants were the world's most deadliest plant, as seeds contain ricin, which is poisonous when ingested. Castor oil is also said to be helpful with sunburn, wrinkle removal, menstrual disorders, and migraines. In addition, the ricinoleic acid found in castor oil is able to inhibit the growth of bacteria, yeast, and viruses. You touched on the benefits of castor oil usage earlier, but let's go through some of those again.
Right. Jamaican black castor oil primarily has been used for hair growth. So persons who have thin hair or want to grow their hair very, very long, naturally use our product, Jamaican black castor oil. The other benefits that persons don't really know about, but we love to introduce to people, is that one, it actually helps with acne. Persons have used it for acne treatment and have seen positive results. Rub it on the unaffected area over time, and persons have seen results. Of course, with all of our stuff, we don't have any claims to it. And I say that as a 100% guarantee. Right. But we're all using testimonies of persons who have had acne before and you have used it on their face and have seen results. Persons who have experienced razor bumps with shaving and so on have used it and have seen a better result and a smoother skin. Persons, for example, who need antifungal treatment, particularly areas of on their feet or whatever, have used Jamaican black castor oil for that as well. Persons who need to go back their eyelashes or their eyebrows, especially if they're shaved too thin or falling out, and I've seen again positive feedback, positive results. There are other uses that persons have used Jamaican black castor oil for. Those tend to be the minor uses, but the major ones have been used for hair growth and for skin. Have been to smooth the skin. Persons have used it for stretch marks. So there are multiple uses of Jamaican black castor oil.
So with all the benefits that you just mentioned, what makes your black castor oil more potent?
Well, one, it starts from the farming stage. We grow our stuff organically. Second of all, we monitor the temperatures and the process. The reason being is that if we just stick to the traditional route of just roasting it in a spit fire and then boiling it without proper measurement of temperature and of course regulating the amount that we do at a time, we wouldn't know how to make sure to capture the full potency of the Jamaican black castor oil. So our unique process allows us to monitor it in a way that we capture the full potency that Jamaican black castor oil has to offer.
So talk to us about pricing. How do you price your oil?
Okay. Now, normally in the market, you will see Jamaican black castor oil sold for between $1,000 to $1,500 a bottle, plus GCT. Our prices ranges from $800 to $950 per bottle, plus GCT, making our product very competitive on the market. Currently in Jamaica, there are industries that are being declined, such as like the sugarcane industry, the banana industry, the coconut industry. Because of the potential and the minimal costs in producing Jamaican black castor oil and Jamaican farming of Jamaica castor trees, we find that persons find Jamaican black castor oil production to be lucrative. As of such, there has been a growing interest, and we do expect the market to continually grow. The thing is that the interest is there, it's just to have a unified effort in being able to be established as like an association that able to disseminate the information on how to grow, how to produce, what's the best practices, and of course have a unified body to say this is Jamaican black castor oil. So it's a very valuable business.
All right, so thank you, Mr. Harris, for talking to us. I'm sure we've learned a whole lot about not only castor oil, but castor oil production. So what do you know about the old-fashioned way of making castor oil? We take our final break here on The Good Life. You don't want to miss this when we return. Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
I am Mrs. Richards, Esmeralda Richards, and I grow castor oil for a living. Yes, and everybody call me Miss Babes as a pet name. We are in the parish of Manchester, and this little district known as Somerset. I'm a castor oil grower. I grow castor oil. I manifest it to market. I've been doing castor oil for a few years, long time, from I was a little girl. Because when I come up, my grandparents used to do castor oil, so we just come up and engraft it. Like somebody buy it from me, use it, and they get the benefit, and they recommend it to somebody else, and then the news spread around. Sometimes they send an order it. But right now, somebody ordered 2 quarts from me for about 3 or 4 months back. Somebody coming from foreign want it and send an order it, and all now me have it at the house. We prepare the ground, and then we dig the hole, and then you put the oil seed in it. And by 21 days, they grow, and they grow up to be a big tall tree. And when they reach about 3 months old, they start to blossom. And they blossom, and then the oil start to put on. Yes, and a few months after, then the oil ready. So the oil, when it is fit and when it fit, it dry. And then you just break them, get them dry and you ox it out. Okay, you dry it and whenever time you're going to process it now, you wash your castor oil, you put it in the sun and it dry. Then you take it up and you parch it. You make up the fire, put on this pot on it, and you parch the castor oil. And when you parch it now, you put into a mortar and you beat it until it becomes smooth. Then after that, now you put on a pot on the fire with some boiling water, put it in there. And the pot been boiling, and then you turn until you see the oil begin to come up on the top. When the oil come up on the top now, you skim off those oil, skim it off, put it into a next pot, put it on the fire again, and then it boil out until you see the natural oil. Until you see the natural oil, then you strain your oil and begin to bottle it up, ready for market. This is how the castor oil bear. This one is young. And whenever time they get fit, the color change. The color change. This one is still young. This one come into the market. You see how we have the dry one on it? So whenever time they get dry, we just break them off and take them home and then shell it out. And then you have the grain, the seed then ready for the markets. You see, some people buy the grain. Right now I get from the grain, I get $200 a quart for the grain. But whenever time I boil it, on the little flask bottle, I sell it for $1,500. If you did ever see these trees, when they were in the bloom, it was a beauty. Every car pass stop and look at it. It was so beautiful, but because they get old now, that's why they look like this. A gentleman buy a flask of it from me for his wife. And him say, if you ever see him wife here, what beautiful black color here. Yes, man. Some people, when they parch the oil, they make it burn. When I parch my oil, I don't make it burn. You know, I don't make it burn. But when you parch it and it get dark and you beat it, you get that black castor oil. But I don't make my own dark, you know. I like the clear color. And I sell this bottle now for $1,500. And 4 of this fully quart bottle. Sure, I should sell it for $6,000, but anyway, I just sell it for 4.
Yes, I'm Robert Richards, a young farmer in Somerset District, Manchester, cool Manchester. The main problem you have with castor oil is marketing. Marketing of the product. Once it comes to perfection, to get it market is the biggest problem that farmers face. That's why you find less young people are interested in it. Castor oil grows your hair. It's good on the root, the scalp, everything when it comes to natural hair. You find most people into hairdressing and stuff, they want castor oil. But the problem is to get it to them. It's good for your skin too. And I've been told you can eat it on salads. Just a little, just spread it across your bread and not too much, but it can be used as some dressing for your sandwiches or whatever. So just like you'd have your dish dryer, the trash from it does an excellent job. Making fire to run mosquitoes, you know, just the smoke off of it runs away the mosquitoes. You know, more time you have things around you that is very valuable, but because it is not out there like that, people tend to, you know, young people would more be like going into a pharmacy and get a tin of Vaseline than castor oil, which castor oil would be more beneficial. Even for lotion, you can subsidize some of the lotions for castor oil. Because it's good for your skin, it preserves the skin and everything, and rashes and all of that. You have a burn, you just pass a little castor oil over it. It heals. Toothache, bad teeth, swelling, castor oil draws that down. So there's a lot of other stuff that, you know, castor oil does. Research have been shown, and we have all seen that we all need to go back to back then. Because things that, you know, manufactured stuff that are artificial isn't good for us. We need to go back to our roots and our culture. And castor oil is the way to go. So go castor oil, go.
Grown from 20 million US to now having 800 million US dollars.
Knowledge, skill, and professionalism. Those are my tools and my armor.
It's a big men don't cry, right? It's a big men don't cry, right?
We were being robbed some $531,000.
I've been angry to the point where I feel like I will get it back.
Hello, my name is Blake Widmer. I'm the co-founder of Def Can Coffee. And the exposure that we had to the just general community through Business Access TV itself is awesome. It was a big deal for them, you know, having BATV come here, and we were with you guys for probably 4 hours that day. It was a long time. We really appreciate your guys' openness to recognize that, yeah, captions are important. If a deaf person's watching it, how are they gonna understand what's being said? So looking back is just a big boost, encouragement for our team. If you're a business or an organization that wants to have yourselves featured on BATV, or you want to do advertising with BATV, what I would tell them is that you guys listen well and you ask good questions, and that will help at the end of the day deliver a really good product for your business too.
Your business matters. Promote it on Business Access TV. Call our sales partner Yellow at 936-3940. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Creating change, building a future, caring hands, giving back, touching hearts, and shaping lives. Impacting our world for the better.
Hey guys, I'm Candy and welcome to Chill Spot, Jamaica's ultimate leisure show. This season promises to reveal some